Hey, welcome to another episode of The Rob Report. I'm your host, Robert BOBTV Brown. Before we get into the segment, by the end of this video, I want you to do a few things for me. First of all, if you like the video, hit the like button. Please do. If you don't like it, hit unlike. It's okay. Make sure you are subscribed to this channel. Sometimes, as Jimmy Dole would say, you find yourself unsubscribed and you need to make sure that you subscribe to this channel. Hit the notification bell right next to it so you can be notified when a new video is being dropped. Whoop, there it is. And more importantly, the super chat will be on for this segment. So if you want to donate toward the efforts of Bob TV, that's freely up to you. I do have a job, but any amount will help toward the growth of this channel. And more important, let us help you help us by introducing you to a program. There's a link down below that says Equal Justice for All. You're going to click that video link and there's some educational tutorial about a phenomenal program in America that is really making equal justice a reality for every citizen. So this program is phenomenal. The proceeds from you participating in the program will go back, 10% will go back into the Bob TV YouTube channel. So anyway, my name is Robert Brown with The Rob Report. Let's get into it. Hey, good day. Welcome to another episode of Rob Report. I'm your host, Robert Bob TV Brown. How you doing today? People on stage feel they fear Tulsi Gabbard. They fear her because Tulsi Gabbard will call you out on the issues and challenge them, which all of them need to be on stage doing that. Stop playing this safety stuff. Bernie Sanders need to be calling out Pete Buttigieg on that sham of what he did, talking about the endorsement of black people when it came to his Douglas plan. None of them want to touch that, not even Kamala Harris, the so-called black woman on stage, or Cory Booker, the so-called black man on stage. Maybe black in skin, but black in heart, I don't know. Didn't even call it out. Trying to protect Pete. They should have been slicing and dicing him. The call-out queen herself, Tulsi Gabbard, didn't even come out to Pete Buttigieg on this. But she did come out to Pete Buttigieg about the military. Tulsi, baby, life isn't all about the military. I want you to understand that. You cannot run on your military experience alone. You got to get out there. You got to get out there and deal with black issues. A little stronger. Come with a little more force. All right? Because you had an opportunity to really cut Pete off, really shame him, really, I wouldn't say smear because you always got the truth. You had the opportunity to bring this stuff up on that debate stage and you didn't do it. Did somebody talk you out of it? Why did you not go out to Pete? I didn't expect Bernie to go out to Pete because Bernie's trying to play safe. He got some coach in his ear telling him stay on first base. Don't you dare try to steal it. We got somebody that's good at getting doubles and triples. Stay on base. Don't move. Wait until we get that person that's going to knock it out of the park. That's where Bernie is. That's where Warren is. All of them was there for some reason. Seemed like that was the only play that was being called when it came to Pete. Nobody attacked Pete. But Tulsi did go out to Pete. But it wasn't on that issue, which is a shameful, embarrassing issue, an important issue to the black community that you should have pointed out, Tulsi. But she went here on military. Watch this.
But I want to get back to Pete Buttigieg and his comment about experience. Pete, you'll agree that the service that we both have provided to our country as veterans by itself does not qualify us to serve as commander-in-chief. I think the most recent example of your inexperience in national security and foreign policy came from your recent careless statement about how you as president would be willing to send our troops to Mexico to fight the cartels. As commander-in-chief, leader of our armed forces, I bring extensive experience serving for 7 years in Congress, on the Foreign Affairs Committee, on the Armed Services Committee, on the Homeland Security Committee, meeting with leaders of countries around the world, working with military commanders of different commands, dealing with high-level national security briefings, understanding what's necessary, the preparation that I've gotten to walk in on day one to serve as Commander-in-Chief.
Congresswoman, thank you. Mr. Mayor, I'll allow you to respond. I know that it's par for the course in Washington to take remarks out of context, but that is outlandish even by the standards of today's politics.
Are you saying that you didn't say that?
I was talking about U.S.-Mexico cooperation. We've been doing security cooperation.
Really? That's what you was talking about, Pete Buttigieg? Really? Let's go see.
Murdered in northern Mexico. President Trump suggested sending U.S. troops to help Mexico. Mayor, after a number of Americans were murdered in northern Mexico, President Trump suggested sending U.S. troops to help Mexico deal with the cartels. With your military experience, is there a way to deal with the cartels that doesn't violate Mexico's sovereignty?
Now, the question is, how would you deal with the Mexican cartel? Because Trump was talking about taking down troops down there to deal with them. Seems like his answer is a little bit Trumpish. Listen to this.
Well, one of the biggest things I learned during my time deployed abroad is the importance.
Now, what he's going to do is he's going to obfuscate. He's going to tell a story. He's going to talk about policies. He's going to go around the question. And then finally, she's going to have to hit him hard again. She's going to say, yeah, yada, yada, yada. Again, my question is this. Listen. See, that's what these skillful politicians, this guy right here, you got to really, really watch this guy, man. Watch him. He is Kamala Harris. People like him, Kamala Harris, oftentimes not as much Senator Warren. Amy Klobuchar, she just sold out. You tell somebody to just, oh man, But people like Pete Harris, they want to paint them as the female Obama or the rebirth of Obama, but he's white and gay. See, they trying to remodel these politicians into the shape of Obama as if everybody wanted an Obama. Stop trying to resurrect the dead on Obama. It's not going to happen. He wasn't all that. I mean, it really gets me because my people love Obama. Don't you talk about my sister, my mama, my everybody. They like that. They see this TV image of Obama, but they never really. Well, I can't say they haven't because my people are smart. But once you dig deep into the history of Obama, look into the voting record, look into the policies, the things he's checked off on and approved on, you'll realize that Obama is a war criminal. Obama placated and played on the emotion of black people. The first time he didn't do anything, we complained about it, and we said we ought not vote for you in the second term until you get black people. Well, you know, in my second term, I have no reason to run again, so I can just do whatever I want. So hold tight, black people. Hang in there. Then we'll get it done. Just vote for me in this second term. Don't leave me now. Don't turn your back on me. Vote again. And in the second term, I'm going to do so much for you that your head is spin. Well, he did none of that. And you're trying to think that we're going to fall for white Obama, female Obama white, female black Obama, or whatever color Kamala Harris is, white gay Obama. You think we're going to fall for that? No, be who you are. Don't try to be Obama. And in this situation, he's being Obama-like. He's going around the story, and then at the end, he's going to give us the same conclusion Trump gave us. Watch this.
Importance of our alliances, our friendships. And this president, needless to say, has destroyed just about every relationship he can find. That makes America less safe, whether it is turning our back on Kurdish allies who put their lives on the line to help us fight ISIS, or right here in our own hemisphere, alienating those very countries that we need to have a better partnership with. Remember, it is in the interest of both the United States and Mexico for Mexico to prosper with greater economic success and security than they have right now. So if it is in the context of a security partnership, then I would welcome ways to make sure that America is doing what we can to ensure that our neighbor to the south is secure. But doing it in a way that calls into question Mexican sovereignty completely misses how we got here. And by the way, a lot of this is a question of the demand side on the United States. Part of what we can do is make drug trafficking less profitable by walking away from the failed war on drugs here in the United States. That is a policy that we know through experience hasn't worked. We got to do our part here at home and partner with other countries abroad.
But Mayor,
All that stuff, all that yipping and yapping and talking, man. That's what these politicians do. I ask you one simple question, man. One simple question. Don't give me the political answer. Would you send troops in to deal with cartels? Well, just like Obama. Well, the way you look at the situation right now, I met with Joe. I met with Secretary Clinton, and we've been talking about this issue, and we have a plan, a strategy, and how we're going to go in. And no boots on the ground. We're going to go in, special forces, and we're going to kill the cartels. And that's basically it. I got some friends in high places, mercenaries. And they'll go in there and get the job done. No boots required. In this case, it's like, if it need be, boots are required. We'll go ahead and do it. But he give this long answer, and it goes back to this.
specifically, do you see a time when troops could go into Mexico if Mexico welcomed it, for instance?
There is a scenario where we could have security cooperation as we do with countries around the world. Now, I would only order America.
You see how slick he is? He call it security operations. It's the same thing as troops, man. That's some pretty Obama-type words for troops. Boy, this guy been studying Obama tapes on the edge of his seat. Don't give them what they want. Reframe the words, because I am the guy of reframe. I'm the best guy to reframe a frame. He's going to continue to give this Obama-esque answer on whether he's going to go in or not.
Troops into conflict if there were no other choice, if American lives were on the line, and if this were necessary in order for us to uphold our treaty obligations. But we could absolutely be in some kind of partnership role if and only if it is welcomed by our partners south of the border.
Mayor,
Well, as long as they agree with us, we can do it. He said troops. He didn't say special forces. He didn't say the A-team. He didn't say SWAT. He didn't say the Delta Force. He didn't say none of that. He didn't say the Navies. He said troops. See, special forces are not troops. They're separated from troops. They have specific operations. The question was, would you send troops? You told Tulsi Gabbard that you didn't mean that. That's not what you were talking about. But yet we got you on video, just like I was telling my friend about Joe Biden talking about the Ukraine president holding money with Barack Obama's approval if they don't fire the prosecutor on a case that was going out toward his son. Facts, video evidence. Here we got video evidence on Pete Buttigieg. Pete Booty, they call him. Booty or Pete. Admitting fancifully that he will send troops to Mexico.
With Mexico for years, with law enforcement cooperation and a military relationship that could continue to be developed with training relationships, for example. Do you seriously think anybody on this stage is proposing invading Mexico?
That's not
I'm
what
talking
I said.
about.
Now here this nut job, I don't like this guy as a politician, and I'm fastly not liking him as a person. Nobody says this. Tulsi Gabbard didn't say that we talked about invading Mexico. You said that you would send troops in, fancifully said it in a way where you didn't actually have to say you'll send troops in. You use fancy words like operations or whatever. You said that you would send these people in if need be. Nobody mentioned ever throughout this debate, Tulsi Gabbard did not say you would use troops to invade Mexico.
Building up. I'm talking about building up alliances. And if your question is about experience, let's also talk about judgment. One of the foreign leaders you mentioned meeting was Bashar al-Assad. I have in my...
There we go with the Bashar al-Assad. Oh, now he's taking strategies points from the women of The View. He taking strategy points from now he's taking Barry White's talking points. He's taking The View talking points, and he's taking Kamala Harris talking points. So everybody who has nothing on her but that, and he's going after her on this old, weak, lame excuse of saying that she lacks judgment. Oh, you like judgment because we're little baby kids and we don't like that guy. We're not going to go to that guy's house. We're not going to play with him because he don't like that guy. We don't like because his mom says something about us. America, you sound so much like little kids when you use this talking points that guy has done horrible things to his people. Therefore, we should not talk to them. So vice versa. Our country does horrible things to our people. Our country does horrible things to other people in other countries. Our country is very, very in the forefront of regime change right now in certain countries. We don't just meddle in elections. We will send somebody. We will finance a coup to take over the country and have you ousted. So these old talking points about Russia, these old talking points about al-Assad is a bunch of hogwash. It's a lame excuse for you not being a person of judgment. A person can talk to their enemies and talk to their friends to do whatever they can to keep stability in the world today. I ain't gotta like you, bruh, but we still can do business. I don't like you. I don't like how you abandon your wife. I don't like how you abandon your kids, Hunter Biden. But I can find something to agree with you on, and we'll take it from there. You guys are, I don't like you, period. I ain't going to have nothing to do with you. That's a fool. Now let me keep going.
My experience, such as it is, whether you think it counts or not, since it wasn't accumulated in Washington, enough judgment that I would not have sat down with a murderous dictator like that.
Congresswoman Gabbard, let me allow you to...
That didn't deserve a talking point. As a president, you're going to have to deal with so-called murderous dictators. Now, again, once you go into she's called this guy out as a murderous dictator. She did not deny that he was not, but that's still no excuse for us not trying to meet with this fool, because we need to bring some kind of stability to the people in that country and the people all around the world. If you don't do that, you leave this guy free to do whatever he want to do. Not talking to him is not going to help. It's not going to better the situation, Pete Booty. And you're trying to have, I tell you, look at these facial expressions, because he's trying to look like he's concerned. Fool, you are not concerned. Somebody told you to do this. Somebody said you need to go on stage and try to look like you really care when you really don't care and you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You're going to have enemies. You're going to have foes. You're going to have friends. You're going to have to learn as president to deal with all of them. And most of the greats has done that. Gotta like you, and I don't agree with what you're doing with your people in the country, but we gotta talk, bruh. I'm not gonna sit here and close the door on you and act like I don't know you. Man, forget that fool. But let's keep going.
Thank you. You were asked directly whether you would send our troops to Mexico to fight cartels, and your answer was yes. The fact checkers can check this out.
And the video just proved it.
No. But your point about judgment is absolutely correct. Our commander-in-chief does need to have good judgment. And what you've just pointed out is that you would lack the courage to meet with both adversaries and friends to ensure the peace and national security of our nation. I take the example of those leaders who have come before us, leaders like JFK, who met with Khrushchev, like Roosevelt, who met with Stalin,
like Donald Trump,
Reagan, who met.
Now listen to this little kid. Listen here, look, kiddo, young buck. After you leave South Bend, you took that and you drove the black people out of South Bend, Indiana, and you regentrified the place. You got your own problems in South Bend, yet you think you can solve the problems of America. You're worse than Cory Booker, who all these problems in New York, and he runs for Senate, and he's not even solving the problem of Newark. The same thing with at least he dropped out of the race. The same thing with de Blasio. How you gonna solve the problem in the United States? You can't even solve the problem of New Yorkers. So you got the nerves to sit here and get on her. She's solving the problems of her district. That's why she keep getting reelected. She's not running again, and for various reasons. I know why she's not running. She's probably going to seek a Senate seat, or or she'll probably end up getting a political position, cabinet, and if Bernie wins. I'm quite sure. Usually once you go there, you don't go back. Here you are spinning these minutes. You got the nerves to say, like Trump talked to Kim. Well, let's stop there for a second. Trump talking to Kim is not a bad thing. Most of the presidents, including Obama, shun him. Like that's going to make him feel so bad that he's going to stop doing what he's doing. That is not going to do that, man. Even Bush looked into his friend Putin, Vladimir Putin, and said, I looked into the windows of his soul. He was willing to have a relationship with Vladimir Putin. But as soon as Trump tried to have a relationship with Vladimir Putin or any other world leaders, you're going to smear him. You're going to shame him. As president, you got to have relationships with friends and foes to keep stability throughout this world. If not, you're asking for tension. You're asking for tension that's going to lead up to war. And obviously, Pete Booty, you being the military guy, intelligence source, war is good for you, your pockets, and your legacy. And as a kid, here she is naming all these so-called great men. I say so-called because they have their little issues with black people, so I can't call them great. But in the world's eyesight, these great people who's done great things for the country and the world, he gonna throw in Donald Trump like a little kid. Look at him. Look at him. Look at that little kid face.
Like Reagan, who met and worked with Gorbachev, these issues of national security are incredibly important. I will meet.
Let me go back. Look at that face. He looked like a kid that's about to cry. Somebody screenshot that face and make 30 memes out of it, because he looked like a kid that is in trouble. He is scared. He's a scared little boy, don't know what he's doing, can't get things right in South Bend, can't get things right with the police situation about the cop killing a person. He got so much mess going on in his own little small town as mayor. How in the blue hell he think he gonna solve the problems of America with this funky attitude where you can't talk to friends and folks? Once again, Tulsi Gabbard lobs back at him on his inexperience. Now, let's talk about this. And I'll talk about this at the end. Give me a moment.
Of national security are incredibly important. I will meet with and do what is necessary to make sure that no more of our brothers and sisters in uniform are needlessly sent into harm's way fighting regime change wars that undermine our national security. I'll bring real leadership and experience to the White House.
I've got to respond.
Senator Sanders, I'm going to have
No, you cannot respond to that. No, Pete. You can't respond to that because you have nothing to respond on, man, because you are a boy trying to play like you're a leader running for, like you're leading to become president when you're not. You're trying to play front runner. You're trying to play. This is all a little boy playing the game. This is role playing for you. You don't have it in you, Doc. You can't fix the situation in South Bend. I want everybody to understand this. He is not doing good with South Bend. He's not doing good with black people. He don't have no good relationship with the black people of South Bend. Matter of fact, he told a woman, a young lady told him in the situation in a protest that how come you haven't done nothing about this situation and you expect us to vote? He said, well, I'm not trying to get you to vote for me. And the lady told him in his face, and you ain't getting my vote.
Can you say to us today, in front of all these cameras, that Black Lives Matter?
Did you just ask me if Black Lives Matter?
Yes, we want to hear you say it.
Of course, Black Lives Matter.
Then fire your car. Are you a racist?
What about a black life? What matters about a black life to you, Mayor Pete? What matters about a black life to you? Answer that poor and just mother.
The same thing that matters to me about my own.
Answer that.
I do not have evidence that there has been discipline for racist behavior in the case of one.
And you running for president?
But if
You truly running for president and you black people to vote for you? You running for president and you want black people to vote for you? That's a downfall. That's not going to happen.
I'm not asking for your vote.
You ain't gonna get it either.
Black lady, you're so concerned about running for president that you don't have time to fix the problems in your own city, Mayor Pete. It obviously proves to me your number one concern is running for office to be president. You're young, you have plenty of time to do this. This ain't you, dog. You got too many baggage, you got too many issues. Just like I said about Cory Booker, fix your problems in your hometown and have a victory mark checked on your list. That way when you run for office, you can say, this is what I did. But you can't run for office and you still having these issues. Because you don't have a win. You don't have a win notch on your belt because you still got problems. You ran the black people out of the downtown area of South Bend. You regentrified the place. Black people are still living in the, I can't even say in the suburbs. They've been driven out because the rent is too high downtown and they got to deal with low income property down there in the rest of South Bend, Indiana. And then you got this police force, they're not equal. And then you got all these issues where the police department is aggressively using their muscle to pretty much dominate the black community. Then you got your issue with the crime that was taking place in that area. And then you got this point about you in South Carolina trying to talk about, oh, we got all these black people endorsing my Douglas plan. And then you're going to do this old scummy way of trying to get their endorsement saying, if you don't deny my endorsement within a certain time frame, you endorse me. And Kamala Harris was too afraid to hit him on that. And Tulsi should have hit him hard on this just like she did on the military experience. She should have shamed him for this. It's a shame for you, Pete Buttigieg, to sit here and tout your Douglas plan and then tout the amount of black people that are endorsing this plan. And there are a bunch of black people who say, I never endorsed this plan, but you going around saying you did. We told you we're putting your name on the endorsement list and you had a certain amount of time to tell us to take your name off the endorsement list. And you didn't, so you endorsed. That's not an endorsement. That is not people who approved of your plan. And then you're going to get a policy to help black Americans. And then you're going to have a Kenyan woman in Kenya taking a picture in Kenya to handle that situation, to be the lead, to be the forefront of that. I could do a story on that, but a lot of people done stories on that. I'm not going to do it. All to try to get some kind of play with the black vote. Let me tell you something, Pete Buttigieg. You're done with me. You were never part of my top 3 anyway. And even if you came up with a plan to help black America, I don't trust you. I don't care if you say you're for reparations. I don't trust you. These actions and what you're doing right now on that debate stage and what you're doing in South Bend, Indiana, puts me in a position where I don't trust you. And if I don't trust you, I'm not going to vote for you. I vote for honor and integrity. Whoever has the closest honor, who have integrity and have the ability, have a platform that's going to help people in my community, and who has been sincere, not since this presidency, but who's always been that sincere, they're the one that I'm leaning to support and vote for. But I still got time because there's certain demands that I am not going to let you think. Even if I am for you, you're not going to think that I am for you. Me being for your political policy doesn't mean I'm voting for you. I like it. I need to hear more, bruh. And clearly, Pete Buttigieg, you haven't done much for black people in South Bend. What make you think you're going to do black people as president? And the way you did this Douglas plan and the rollout of it, it was con-arty. It was scammy. And it was scummy, which makes me believe that you're scummy, believe that you're a con, believe that you're a sham, and I'm not interested. Move along. Now, on to Tulsi. You know, I always tout Tulsi as the most credible politician on that stage. There's one thing I can say about Tulsi Gabbard. She will tell you the truth whether you like it or not. She'll say, yeah, I'm for health care. She'll say, I'm for Medicare for all, but not the American version that's being preached by Bernie. American plan is not the only Medicare for all plan. England got a Medicare for all plan. Canada have a Medicare for all plan. A lot of countries have Medicare for all. Scotland have it. Australia have it. My Medicare for all plan is more like Australia. You want to know a little bit more about my Medicare for all plan? Go take a look at the Medicare for all plan in Australia. There's no one type of Medicare for all plan. You know, we assume that Bernie Sanders' plan is the Medicare for all plan. And look, it is for America. It's the best Medicare for all plan for the American version. But his version isn't the final ceiling American Medicare for all, because there's other countries that has a Medicare for all plan. But it's not designed the way ours would be designed. And each country design have to be different because each country design is different as a country. So of course Bernie Sanders is going to have to go the extra measure to have an American style, the best Medicare for all plan. But being the best Medicare for all plan doesn't mean you're the only Medicare for all plan. So Tulsi Gabbard is telling the truth. I'm going to call it Medicare for whatever, plus. In other words, you're going to get the same type of Medicare for all plan, but there's a plus side. Now, I got my issues with that. Great. I got my issues with a lot of stuff. But at least she's telling the truth. That my plan ain't Bernie's. My plan is not even crafted at the American version. I'm not trying to expand the current Medicare for all Medicare system. I want a whole new system shaped and molded after Australia. Australia's system is great for Australia. Is it great for America? Who knows? I don't know. I'm not the expert. All I know is I want to make sure everybody in America can go to the doctor, go get things done to them, and not have to worry about a bill in the mail. That's what I want. If the Australian version can get us that, fine. Canada version, great. England version, great. Or America come up with their own version, which Bernie Sanders' version is pretty great. I got to give it to them. I am for that. But there's specific needs, again, that my people need, that I'm only going to get my vote out on based on that. You guys do what you want. Some people, their breaking point is, if you don't support Medicare for all, I'm not voting for you. Well, I can feel the same way about closing the wealth gap and reparations. If you're not going to be for it, I'm not voting for you. Hate me, love me, whatever. Unsubscribe, whatever. You have your point, I have my point. Okay, all of them to me are good for the country, including reparations. Anyway, let me get off this. But back to Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard, just a little word of advice, and I think my main man Nico probably told you this. Let's get you out in the black community a little bit more. Let's get you to have a town hall with blacks. Let's let the black community talk to you about their needs in the community. This advice I've given to Sanders, and most people running for office should take this advice. I think Tim just did a piece. It popped up on my phone. I'm going to listen to what Tim has to say about getting the black vote. Me, I said, if you want the black vote, you must go down to black communities, upper or lower class or middle class. You have to go visit those communities. You have to talk to them. Whether they're black Republican or black Democrat, you still need to go down there and talk to them. Listen to them. Have your pen, pad, and your audio tape out. Listen to their needs, write it down, document it. And when this all said and done, get to work advocating for it vocally. Come up with a plan. It's one thing I can say about Pete Buttigieg. At least he came up with a plan. It doesn't close the wealth gap, but at least he got a plan. Tulsi Gabbard, Kamala Harris has her so-called plan. It's whack as crap, but at least she got a plan and nobody's supporting it. You have to get a plan that's from black people, endorsed by black people, and that you're going to advocate for black people. It has to be from the grassroots in the black community. It can't come from think tanks. It can't come from your staff. You need more black. You need more black in your staff. I'm just saying hire more black. I'm not saying you don't have enough. You need to have a whole bunch of black people on your staff. A whole bunch. Overwhelmed. And again, whatever they tell you in the black community, put it in the platform and go out there and advocate for it. Because right now, we need more. We need more. Nobody's really talking about the hard-hitting issues in black community as a political opponent to be president. Nobody. Do that more, you'll get some black votes. Do that more, your rates will go up. Your points will go up. I'm reminded of the brother who tried to ask you about reparations, and you felt you didn't have time to talk to him. When somebody asks you about that, you can say, look, we ain't got time to discuss that, but come meet me at this area at this time and we'll discuss that. Don't blow them off. Don't blow anybody black off when they ask you about a specific need in the community. Don't blow them off. Turn around, talk to them. If you don't truly have time to answer them, tell them when and where he can ask that question again and answer it. I'm having a town hall this weekend at the VFW post or at so-and-so community college. I'm going to be there talking to the black community. I want to hear your needs and I want to go advocate for it. So right now I'm kind of thrown off. I had a long day, but if you got this same question, meet me at this town hall and answer the man question. You're the queen of town halls. I don't think Elizabeth Warren having as many town halls as you're having. Put that in there and watch your ratings go up. Watch other people's ratings go down. He who wins the black vote will win the nomination in the Democratic primary. And I'm telling you this because I kind of figure out what's going to happen after this is all over with. You may win, but if you don't win, I know where you're going to be positioned in. If Bernie wins, I know you're going to be put in his administration. Not saying you can't beat Bernie. I don't know who could beat who. We haven't had the Iowa caucuses yet. I don't know what's going on. I can't say who's going to win this thing right now because everybody loves a comeback kid. And who knows? You probably can make up that deficit. Bernie sure did in 2016. Advocate for the needs of black people. Listen to the needs. Write it down. Come up with a plan to give them what they want and go out there and advocate for it. Bold, proud, and loud, and watch what happens. Watch what happens. Anyway, I'm done. Pete Buttigieg, come on, bruh. Pete. Come on, dog. This ain't you. This ain't your deal right now. Go back to South Bend, Indiana. Go back to helping those people over there. One thing I can say about Bernie Sanders, he's done a lot for the people of Vermont. He has a track record. One thing I can say about Tulsi Gabbard, he's done a lot of good for Hawaii. She has a track record. Senator Warren, not even nowhere near on my list, but she's done things for Massachusetts and for the consumers of America. What's your track record, bruh? running a bunch of black people out of South Bend, Indiana? Come on. Come on. Kamala Harris, she got a horrible record, but at least she got a track record. What is your track record, man? So I'm done, man. Pete Buttigieg tried to go after Tulsi Gabbard and get decapitated, get slaughtered. Tulsi Gabbard is the political grim reaper. Don't go after her. She will kill your political career. Mess around. But what you got going on right now, you won't be the president. You're not going to be president, bro. And you might end up losing your mayoral seat because you haven't focused on your city. Your city has to still become number one priority above this right now. Because right now you're making it seem like it's all about you and not them. At least de Blasio dropped his Senate seat and went back to working for a New Yorker. De Blasio, you still got a long way to go, but keep going, keep working, bro. I'm believing that you're going to change. That's all I got, bro. It's belief. I'm Rob Brown with the Robert Report. I'll holler at you later. Peace.